You want to impress someone, especially a girl? You're gonna have to get physical. No, not that. Or that. And I don't mean that one either, though all those are somewhat getting there. You see, everything in life, and especially girls, revolves around the physical world. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's it. The physical world. The physical reality you live in every day. The stuff you can touch, and especially the stuff you can see. This may seem simplistic, but understanding this can really shift your perspective and approach to almost every aspect of your life and your relations to other people. The simple version is if you have big muscles, she can see that. Big muscles are in the physical world. She can feel up those guns. She probably wants to. However, many guys focus on traits that are not physical. They are mental and intellectual. If you understand tax derivatives better than anyone else at your firm, or you can write computer code for a website more efficiently and faster than anyone else in your class, well, I mean, that's good too, right? Right? I mean, sure, maybe it is, but she can't see that. It's intangible. It's at best a mental thing. You tell her and she can think about it. Okay, think about it, but not see it. Seriously, imagine you're on a date telling her all this about yourself. What is she picturing in her head? Can she imagine how you wrote more efficient computer code than anyone else? What does efficient computer code look like? She may ask, how does that help? And you'd be like, it makes it run smoother. It crashes less. She can at least understand that, hopefully. Except even then, it's just sort of a third order effect of something you did. Likewise, knowing all the ins and outs of the tax code may be helpful in your position, but it's not like that's something she can see or hold on to. She just nods her head in understanding. Oh, that's great, she says. She understands what taxes are, but what is she imagining in her head? What's that picture in there? You sitting at a desk working numbers on a spreadsheet? Is that gonna turn her on? In all the internet, have you ever heard of a hot girl, or any girl for that matter? Imagine a guy she's dating crunching numbers at his desk and it makes her all wet and crazy. She's gonna start taking your clothes off right there. How can she control herself thinking about something like that? Except, no, that's not gonna happen. Keep in mind, she's not lying. She understands what you're doing, and maybe she really does admire the work. But attraction here is on a deeper level. You're looking to trigger those deep feminine urges that crave the masculine sign of dominance. The thing is, in order to trigger those deeper levels of consciousness, you have to speak to those levels. Higher level thoughts, like her imagining you working the numbers on that spreadsheet better than anyone else, do not and will not hit the lower levels of her brain. That is what is important. The lower level of the brain is the physical world. Stuff she can physically see and touch, not stuff she can only think about. Also, even if you are better than everyone else, what does that look like? It's not something where she is attracted to the guy who outshines all the other guys. It's not exactly the same thing as crossing the finish line first in a race. There she can see you won. But numbers on a spreadsheet, computer code? She can't visualize that. Let's set up an example. We have our computer coder or software engineer, as they like to describe themselves, our accounting guy for a big semi-evil corporation, and then we have a fitness trainer. Now, a fitness trainer is a decent job, many people do it, but it probably doesn't earn the big bucks. But imagine the fitness trainer on a date explaining his job. What is she imagining in her head? You already realize she can immediately picture everything he does. Even if she doesn't go to the gym, though she probably does because she's on a date with a trainer, she knows what working with weights and such would look like. She can imagine the trainer and everything he does. What's more, she can imagine the trainer helping out other men, lifting weights the other guys can't, demonstrating the proper technique and form to other men. You see, lifting weights is something you do in the physical world. She can easily imagine it, and she can easily imagine the trainer being better than other guys. Stop and think about how stupid easy that is. It doesn't even matter if it's real. All she has to imagine is one guy struggling to lift some weights, and then her date easily lifts those same weights. Boom! Like he may not even have talked about that, but she's imagining it anyway. Look at how much easier it is to imagine a fitness trainer succeeding at his job than it is a computer programmer or tax accountant. Like it's so simple, even you watching this video can more easily picture a trainer lifting heavier weights than another guy than you can imagine a programmer writing more efficient computer code. Now, I haven't even gotten into physical appearance. While certainly the trainer will be in good shape, there's no reason the programmer or accountant can't also be in good shape. Your appearance is important because, guess what? It exists in the physical world. Wow. She can see and touch it. She can imagine it. She can compare it to other guys. Don't ever slack on that. Now you may be saying, but I know accountants and guys with desk jobs that scored a hot girl. Their jobs are boring. You can't imagine what they do. Yes, that is absolutely true. It brings us to the important lesson about understanding physical reality when your best features are harder to visualize. Before you go on a date, think about the things of yourself you're going to tell her. It's perfectly natural for her to ask or wonder what you do. Your job or maybe other activities and hobbies will of course come up. Obviously go ahead and tell her, but recognize now, that is before you ever go on that date, if it's not something she can easily imagine, you are better off not spending a lot of time talking about it. Consider if and how she's going to visualize everything you tell her about what you do. If it is something that is more mental and harder to visualize in the physical world, have other options ready. The trick is to shift the focus to where you have the advantage. So much in life is shifting focus to where it's not in your favor to where it is in your favor. Find such a topic. And important, that also applies even if she has the same job as you. Remember that. Just because she actually understands perfectly everything you're talking about doesn't mean it's a great conversation for a date. Then you're just talking about work. And as I said on my tips for a first date, talking about work is not sexy. Now, does that mean intellectual work is a dead end in the dating world? Not so. So what do those guys do? Basically, they show the results of their work. Yeah, a lot of that involves money. Maybe they can afford a nicer car, nicer clothes, or they go to nicer places than the fitness trainer. Those are all real things that exist in the physical world. The girl you're with can see them, touch them, and experience them. Now, the knee-jerk reaction to that is to proclaim women are shallow and just want a guy to spend money on them. Likewise, it is true that what you do early on can set a standard for the rest of the relationship, which means she will expect you to keep going to expensive places if you do it up front. What I'm trying to do is emphasize the important point that attraction, that is the deep down attraction she will feel for you, is far more triggered by the physical world. What you need to do is think about how you are going to show or provide that. Consider Nancy Wheeler talking about her mom in Stranger Things.
My mom was young. My dad was older, but he had a cushy job. Money, came from a good family. So they bought a nice house at the end of the cul-de-sac. Started their nuclear family.
Now their relationship is a little rocky, but ultimately they stick together and care for each other. It is a real look that even though he had some desk job, she understood the result of that job would provide a good life for her and their children. Maybe you're not looking to get married yet, but you can see the importance in the thinking. Likewise, this is a video that was around the internet recently.
So I was getting prepared to pay for our drinks because he's been paying all night. Of course I'm gonna pay for the next round, but as he's going to leave for the bathroom, he turns to me and he hands me his credit card. And he goes, "Here's my card, get us whatever."
Now, I don't know what that guy does for work, but I'm guessing he isn't a fitness trainer or school teacher. Now, many people went on and on about how it was proof that women just want money or are attracted to his money. But I want to point out the absolute most important part of this story. It's the part that certainly prompted the whole thing.
He turns to me and he hands me his credit card. And he goes, "Here's my card, get us whatever."
That's it. There. He literally handed over his credit card. It's not that the card is money. is that the card is a physical object. Yes, the physical world. It's something she can pick up, hold on to. And certainly his attitude was important too, but it's that physical action with the attitude that triggered her primal instincts. He handed over his card and she picked it up. Empowering. Like he could have just said, order whatever and I'll pay for it when I'm back. But he didn't do that. He threw his card on the table. Physical action, physical things. In this case, a credit card are fucking magic. That day could have gone exactly the same. They ordered the same exact stuff. He pays for it exactly the same, but she wouldn't have made this video melting down over it if he didn't go through that act of tossing his credit card to her. That is what triggered all of this, not the money, the physical act, accompanied with the attitude and body language, which by the way is also physical. The physical world impresses other people, especially women. 100% that is what she replayed in her head again and again. Why? Because that is something she can replay in her head. She can literally remember him tossing that card to her again and again. A girl can't replay in her head you talking about maxing out an expense report. She can't replay in her head that you got the best grade in your class exam, or you checkmated the other guy in 7 moves. Physical actions and physical objects can be visualized and replayed repeatedly. Now you are forbidden from being frustrated or upset by any of this. Instead, use the information to your advantage. If you have a job or hobbies that are naturally physical, talk about them. If you're a computer programmer, software engineer, who plays Magic the Gathering in his spare time, you're gonna have to think of other ways to use the physical world to your advantage. The guy on this date did just that. I personally know a programmer that met his wife in a dance class. Do you think it was talk of computer code or derivatives that attracted her to him? Or do you think it was carefree salsa dancing? The physical world is where it's at. That is what you need to embrace. Be sure to subscribe to Learn Party. There's still time to get in early.